Welcome to the city, Mastermind City, a city filled with endless masterminds and limitless possibilities.
And it includes live coaching, Q&As, hot seats, and more.
Hi, I'm Fay Chappell.
And I'm Stacy Maynard, and this is the Hot Topics of the Week, where we bring you a vibrant, uplifting, and inspiring conversation focused on how you can make a lasting impact for yourself and for your business.
For us, this is more than just a business. It's a professional community. So if you're ready to go, you're in the right place. Welcome to the city.
Okay, you're going to see us together all the time now because Stacy has moved up here permanently.
It's so nice. I just find slower pace, driving, the insanity of traffic. I think my commute's about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's really nice.
Yeah, it's really good. I was in the city yesterday and, it reinforces how much stress, traffic, and lots of people can cause. So keep that in mind when you're, getting frustrated during the day. Is it something in your business or your life, or is it really just the volume of traffic and people that you have to contend with on a daily basis? So
yeah, and we work better when we're physically together.
Yeah.
Like we're at our computers and we're a lot more productive. We can actually, I'm in the middle of doing something and she's right there. I can ask her a question, or vice versa, or let's just have a quick conversation about this. It's interesting when you compare that to video calls.
Yeah.
Right. And you're online and obviously we, connected, but it's like, okay, well, we'll, stop this or whatever, we'll go work and then we'll talk a little bit later. So it's an interesting difference in dynamic.
Yeah.
And it has helped us fall back in love with our business.
Yeah, which is what we're talking about today, right? Because this is the time when, your year winds down. And it's a really great time. Last week we talked about, getting prepared for the year ahead and some of the things you can do. But, the best way to do that is to really go back and look at your business and say, hey, what is it that I started? What do I love about this business? And get that going, get that mojo, that groove going so that you can take the time to plan. So number one is really what we just talked about, which is number one, we've got 10. We always like to talk in numbers. Number one is really discovering your why, rediscovering your why. Why did you do this?
Remember why. Remember what you were thinking when you first started your business, or maybe why you developed a specific service or product, or why you're doing something new, because we've also talked a lot about that as well.
Yeah. So one of the great ways to do this is really to do a vision board. For those of you who haven't done them in the past, I believe in our networking next month, November, or is it October? End of October.
November 1st.
November 1st, we are doing a vision board piece. Linda Stanko is doing it. And that's a really great way to, if you've already done one, to bring it with you, right? And look at it and go, did I move in that direction? Because this is what my business was supposed to be about. Did I actually do it? This is what I thought I'd love. Or do I need to do a new one and go, you know what? There are some things I didn't quite love about it, and I want to fall back in love with my business. So what do I need to do?
And that's the what. And I think that's what vision boards are really good with, is understanding the why. And the why usually doesn't change year to year, but the what sometimes does, which is why it's really important to continue to do vision boards every year. Look at the what you're going to do so that your why drives the what.
Yeah. And number two,
a philosophical moment,
is revisit your wins. And why do we want to do that? Because sometimes, when you get really angry at your business or you're getting frustrated with it and you're like, why am I doing this? It's really great to look back and go, well, where were my wins last year? What did I do great? Where were my success stories? What can I remind myself how great this business was, so that I can understand that, I love it and I want to go forward and I want to do more of the same. And we've been doing that for the last couple of months as well. We always look to realign our business, see what worked, what didn't, and go forward. We do that a lot in our LifeMap Navigator, which we'll be doing live in January. But in the meantime, it's really great to sit back and go, okay, let me revisit my business and what did I do well, just to get you a little bit more in love with what you do.
Because I think what ends up happening towards the end of the year is we get so involved with the tasks that we sometimes forget to look back on what you have accomplished, right? Look back all the way to January, February. What are some things that worked out really well that maybe with the direction that you went or the what's and all of that kind of stuff, you went in a slightly different direction. And sometimes when you look back and you go, you know what, that was really great. I really enjoyed that event that I spoke at, or I really enjoyed working with these particular clients. Look at that and see what made that happen.
Yeah, it's always a great way to start, right? So number 3, we like shake things up. I feel like Taylor Swift, shake it up, shake it up.
Shake it up, shake it off.
Shake things up. What do we mean? We mean change things up. You've been stuck in this routine since January, and this is a really great opportunity to do a few different things. One of them is to really change up your workspace. She would know about that.
Well, it's, you know what, and Fay and I have actually had this conversation last week about how much more creative we feel in this space. And it took refresh, right? We put a table here. We put some new pictures here. We put a microphone. We went shopping.
Got a new big ring light.
Exactly. And it does remotivate you 100%. When I changed into my new space, the first thing I had to do was figure out, where am I going to work? So I had to do I was a forced workspace refresh when I moved, but I needed to get into the groove. I needed to see, how do I want to set up my space? Because sometimes it just changes how you work. It changes your creative flow, and it just changes how you engage with your business.
And look at everything else that goes with shaking things up in your business. So marketing is one of them, and then products is another. So we are constantly looking at our marketing and going, what can we change? This year we pivoted a lot. We did a lot more shorts and reels instead of posts. We did really key was making sure everyone defined by numbers what they needed to do next so that you could stay on course. And we shook up our products, and you'll see a lot of changes in 2025, offering some new exciting things that are right on trend. So look at your marketing. Has it been the same for 5 years? You know, maybe now is the time to sit back and go, what could I change? What do I want it to look like in 2025?
Absolutely. And number 4, I love this one because we always think about our audience. We always think about our community and how can we reconnect? So again, you know, the marketing shake up meant we wanted to connect through shorts and reels and TikToks and stuff like that, because we wanted to connect through video and have more of that interaction. We're talking about what we're going to do for Black Friday so that we can engage more, we can get more people in. And what do we want to do differently? I mean, networking is changing. All of this stuff is changing. So we want to figure out a way to reconnect with our audience and re-engage a community. So think about that on your end. What does that look like if you want to reconnect with your audience and your community?
And, you know, Stacy mentioned Black Friday. So a couple of weeks ago, we talked about fall promotions and Black Friday. And are you thinking about it? And we did. Our Black Friday is ready to go. We have our pages ready. If you go to our main website, the mastermind.city, at the top, you'll see an announcement bar, and you can actually get on our list so that you'll get the Black Friday discount. So we've already done that. What have you done in terms of that's reconnecting again with our audience? And so if you haven't done it already, you can go rewatch that episode, or you can read one of our newsletters and it'll tell you all about it. But after that, number 5 is really about setting new goals. We talk a lot about setting new goals, and we do a lot of that work in LifeMap Navigator in January. But this is the time when you're, again, falling back in love with your business, that you look at everything we've just talked about and go, okay, this is what I want to do. So I do want a marketing makeover, right? So this is a goal that you can set, right? I do want to change some of the stuff I'm doing. So these are all goals that you can start working on before you implement it into your full map.
And this all works together, right? Going right back to the beginning, you know, what's your why? Understanding why you started your business, looking at your vision board, looking at, you know, reconnecting, looking at what you want to do, and all of those tasks all fit into those goals, SMART goals. What do you want to achieve? And what are the tasks that you need to do to reach those goals for the end of 2025? And again, going back to reflection, focusing on, you know, what your achievements were, but again, also looking at what are the things you want to change, and did you achieve the goals that you wanted to achieve for 2024, and what are the goals that you want to achieve for 2025. So I think it's so interesting when all of these just really work together, so that we can move your business forward and understand how you're going to get there.
Number 6 is prioritizing your self-care. We've talked a lot this year about your self-care and making sure that you're looking after yourself, because that's a reflection of your business. So if you haven't already done it, and that becomes one of your goals for 2025, this is a great time to think about what that looks like, right? Scheduling that time for yourself, maybe unplugging a day or 2 a week if you think that's what it takes, or looking at everything you've done and saying, what can I delegate? What can I outsource to give myself more time? In January, we'll be announcing a brand new piece of the business that we'll be talking about, which really does focus on this piece. I can't say enough how much we've changed because of that prioritizing of ourself and our self-care. Never been something until this last year that I've really prioritized, but it's made a massive difference to how we feel about the business. So
you may or may not see sweaty photos on Instagram. But that's okay. But no, I think it's really important to celebrate those achievements, celebrate those wins. We're always about supporting local. But yes, we have changed the routine, right? We've changed how we focus on our energy, our self-care, our focus on ourselves, and that has made a huge impact on our business. So definitely that recharge time is important.
Yeah. And so that flows right into number 7, which is seek inspiration, right? You want to look at anything new that's happening in the industry, anything that's new that's happening in your environment, in your local community. What can you get inspired by to bring that into your business and to bring that into your life? You can attend events, workshops. We're going to focus a lot on that as well. Any podcasts that you've been putting off and you wanted to hear, including ours, you need to go ahead and listen to. Or what about books? There are still books. People still read books. They still read. Now, you can work. We have, if you go to our site, you can see where we have our summaries that you can get for free on certain books, and that will be a start. I'm also going to talk about a book club that we're going to start again in January, but it's a little different.
She starts things that I never know.
So where is that inspiration coming from? If you're out and you see something, just, voice message yourself, text message yourself, remind yourself that's what you want to look to do in the future, and then get inspired to do that.
And I think it's important because, again, going back to the looking back and seeing maybe where you dipped in the past year, and you don't want to have that same thing happen. Inspiration is everywhere. Even looking at what other businesses are doing that are not related to your industry. Sometimes if you look at those businesses and see what they're doing, you can actually tweak it for your own business. So I guess constantly be on the outlook for what's going on out there. What can you sort of revamp for your own business, and what are other people doing, like I said, outside your industry or inside your industry that you can tweak for yourself, but just always being on the outlook for it.
Yeah. Number 9 is really about delegating or outsourcing. We mentioned it earlier, and it's real simple. What do you do? We talked a lot about it, I think 2 weeks ago. What do you just hate doing that drives you crazy and eats up all your time and sucks your energy out of you?
Yeah.
And what could you do to push that moving forward? Where can you outsource something simple? We talked long about this a couple weeks ago, so you can re-look at that. But then now is, again, to fall in love with your business, you need to get rid of the stuff you hate.
Because that does drag you down. Unfortunately, as entrepreneurs, we wear 1,000 hats. Right? We're doing this, we're doing that, we're, accounting and marketing and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And sometimes how to, like you said, fall in love with your business is to not do those things, right? Which is really important. So to understand not necessarily what you want to delegate, but what you should delegate to get that off of your plate. So if bookkeeping is not your thing and that really drags you down, and it, once a month just kind of makes you go, oh, I hate doing this, then delegate that, right? If marketing's not your thing, delegate that. If you need inspiration or you need someone to ask, do coaching. We have a live coaching in our community every week, and our clients come to us and say, this is the part of the business I don't like. How can I delegate this? Here are some options for you. If you don't think you can always delegate.
It's a lot easier than you think. I mean, part of, if you guys do our signature message, and that's really about personal branding. And a lot of people will ask, well, what do you do? And they don't know. They're not sure what they want to do. They're not sure what they love. So it's real simple. I always ask the question, who are you not willing to be anymore?
Right.
Who are you not willing to be? Because sometimes that answer is a heck of a lot easier because you know what you don't want to do more than what you want to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And number 9, related to what we've talked about already, is just gratitude. Like, you're in this business, like, appreciate the aspects of your business. Look back and even write, there's a lot of gratitude journals out there. Write what you love about your business. Show gratitude to your customers. Show gratitude to the people you work with. Show gratitude to the people you've delegated things to. Show gratitude to your community. I think it's such a great place to show that appreciation for where you've been, what you've been able to create, because a lot of us created these businesses from an idea.
Right.
And it's just a great time to look back on that.
And it's good to show gratitude to yourself for sticking with it all year, and to to actually, get yourself off the hook if you didn't do everything you're supposed to do. Because we have a lot of people that have a lot of dreams and they want to do this and they don't go through with them. And it's okay. Show up when you're ready to start again, right? And so you're grateful that you had the idea. You're grateful that you wanted to do it. Show forgiveness that you fell off the track, and then get back on it and be ready to go. So that brings us to the final one, which is number 10. Very, very important. And this is the one that will make you truly fall in love with your business again, which is remember your impact, right? Remind yourself and your listeners and everyone who's in your community, remind yourself of what has happened. Remind your clients and your community of what they've accomplished in the year with you in the past year. That's huge.
And you know what? I think it's really interesting that a lot of people forget about their customer testimonials. Showcase that. Showcase what your customers have accomplished. Showcase the client and the impact that they've had with their own community through what you've been able to help them with, right? Ask them for, to show them or to tell you the impact that they've made so that you can share that with your community as well. So I just think it's a huge opportunity to showcase and remember that you have had impact, your clients have had impact, and it's a great way to fall back in love with your business when you realize that, what, I've done this and my client's done this, and look how proud I am of what they've been able to achieve.
Now, let me just do a little caveat here. We've given you the top 10. We've said this is a great way for you to fall back in love with your business. If you did all these steps and you're not in love with your business, that means maybe it's time for a shift. Right?
Yep, exactly.
If you can't honestly say, I loved this, I didn't like this so much, but I love doing this, my vision is still there, I still want to go in that direction, awesome, that's what you need to do. But if you've done all of these 10 things that we pointed out, and you're like, it doesn't feel like I fell back in love, then maybe it's time to cut your losses and move on to the next inspiration. And there's nothing wrong with that. We change all the time, and it's a great opportunity again in January to join us for LifeMap Navigator, because that really will drive into your psyche what you want to do, what kind of business and what kind of lifestyle you want to lead. And maybe that's that point that you haven't put the two together, and that might be why you don't necessarily love your business. But if you've done these 10 points and you're like, wow, I've accomplished a lot, this is great, then great. This is time to move forward and make it bigger and better. Really build a legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that. I love the fact that sometimes you feel like you have to do something or you have to stick with it because you put in this time. No, you don't. If falling back in love with the why you wanted to start a business is important, then maybe a shift to the right business is the direction to go. So, yeah.
So, again, I'm just going to remind you that if you go to our site, I don't know when you're listening to this, but if it's close to Black Friday, you can join up on the wait list so you can get in on that one day in the year that we actually discount our membership really highly. But you have to have that code and you have to get in at that time. So go ahead and do that. And we alluded to a lot of the past pieces that we've done in the last couple of weeks. So you can see those either on YouTube, or you can read our LinkedIn newsletters, or see it, follow us on Instagram and TikTok and everything else. And then you can find all that information there as well.
Thanks for joining us here at the Mastermind City. You don't have to say goodbye because there are other ways that you can join us.
If you like what you've heard today, then join our professional networking community, and it's absolutely free, where you can be part of our global community to build relationships, grow your business, and access live training, or learn more about how you can get year-round access to not only us, but to all our endless masterminds.
So just go to themastermind.city and we'll see you in the city.